And what I did was I created a fake resume and I tried to get a job at 14 because I knew I couldn't get a job.
Of course.
Yeah, I actually got interviewed. I was about to get hired. They asked for my social. I gave it to them. They said, we can't hire you because you're 14.
But I'm willing and able, though.
Right.
We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Energy Podcast. My name is Brian Landeros, and like always, guys, I love you so much for everybody that's been supporting us, showing us some love, and always rocking with us since day one. If you haven't already, please do me a favor and smash that subscribe button so you never miss a dose of energy. Make sure that if you guys haven't already checked out episode 48 of the Energy Podcast, which is out now, make sure you stop what you're doing, or after you're done with this one, make sure you check it out and continue to roll on with this energy. Woo! Now that we got I got the housekeeping out of the way, let's go ahead and get into tonight's guest, ladies and gentlemen. A father, a branding specialist, and an online marketing mogul. Our guest tonight has many talents and skills and is a walking representation of a self-driven entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's guest, CEO of Powerhouse Agency, JOE Ortega. How's it going, brother?
Man, I'm too blessed to be stressed, man.
Hell yeah, bro. That's what it's all about, bro. I feel like, you bring on your own stress. Whatever you put in your mind, that's what's going to happen, bro. So it's like, what type of forecast you want to have in your mindset,
Yeah, man. The stress is it's an interesting thing because it's all mindset.
Yeah.
We hear mindset like it's woo-woo and all this, but
really though,
the reality is like you control your thoughts. I'd rather be blessed than to be stressed. You know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%.
The whole thing, you control your thoughts. So if you're stressed, you're controlling it. The world ain't controlling it.
It's like you're feeding that stress, you're feeding into that. So what are you going to get back? The more you feed into it, the more stress you're going to be able to, or you're going to get back, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. Man.
But bro, before we get into all the good stuff and everything, I like to talk about, and the podcast in itself, we like to talk about growth and journey, right? So I went into the Instagram and did a little digging, bro. So I pulled this picture back from 2017, bro.
I remember
and for the people that don't know it, make sure I show it to them right here. Cool. So this is, back in 2017, bro. And that's actually one of the oldest pics you had, right?
Yeah.
So give us a little bit more context as to what was going on here and who was this Joe back then, bro?
All right. So 2017, this was at Downtown Works in downtown. It's kind of like co-work, like WeWork.
Right.
In 2017, what was I doing in 2017? Well, we took this photo the day we didn't get funding for an app we tried. We were building an app in the legal space, trying to compete against LegalZoom. I was really big in the startup space in that year. And that pic was the picture for the investment deck we had.
Okay.
We took that on top of the building at Downtown Works. So that was happening that time.
Right. So, so fast forward to now, like I said, we like talking about the journey and growth. We're over here, bro. And this is actually one of my favorite pictures, bro, because it has, be all in, which, for me symbolizes a lot, bro.
Yeah.
So just speak a little bit more of what, this was and what was going on here.
Well, that was more recent. That was this year. I have a line called Combat. I was going to launch, really take it to the next level, but I got busy in other areas of my life.
Yep.
Be All In was a concept for the line Combat, which is a lifestyle performance entrepreneurial line.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing there is just like my mind says, if you're going to do something, you got to go all in.
100%,
And as this is the thing, man, there's so much people that go, be all in, motivation, inspirations, woo woo. It's BS. It's
Yeah.
That it's a mindset. It's a mindset to think motivation is BS because it never worked for people because they never gave it a try.
Right.
For me, I've been independent since 14. I always had to be all in.
Right.
I always had to give it my all. Otherwise, I wouldn't live. So it's one of those things I take even to what I do now is if you do anything, you got to go all in. And what I mean by that is, okay, we're here at the podcast.
Yep.
Okay. I could have said, I can't do this because I have paying clients that rather take my time now.
Right.
But I committed to something, so I'm all in here. So I make my own reality. Your decisions don't come from your actions. Your decisions come from your mental space. Are you going to commit mentally before you take a step?
Right.
Because the journey of 1,000 miles don't start at the first step. It starts with a decision that you're going the journey. So I like to look at all my commitments as that.
Right.
Before I even do it, am I all in? Am I mentally in no matter what happens?
No. And I definitely understand where you're coming from,
yeah.
because then that just makes sense. You know, some people already counted themselves out before they even committed, right?
Yeah.
And they might commit verbally, but at the end, mentally, they know like, I already know I'm going to wiggle my way out of this by doing this, right?
Yeah.
So it's a decision you make before you even take the action.
Yeah, and my big thing with fashion, like you're wearing a collab that my
Heck
brother and
yeah,
I
bro.
did. I'm big on affirmations, man.
No, definitely, bro. 100%.
You know?
I mean, everybody does it to the certain extent, and I'm always, whatever works for you, use that.
Yeah.
And affirmations have, really, applied myself in a mindset where I'm just constantly just flowing in the thoughts that are moving me forward.
Yeah, because the reality is this. If you're going to be looking at something, what you look at influences you.
Yeah.
Well, when people think of affirmations, they go, oh, I don't want to read some ritual to myself. Well, if you really think about it, what do you see throughout your day? What's creating inspiration, or what's creating scarcity? What's creating urgency? What's creating depression? It's
Words,
things that you
pictures,
see.
stuff that you're intaking.
Things that you see. So my clothing, I like to put words that inspire me. Like that self-made. When I see that, you can't be negative.
No.
You could look at your hoodie, right? You could be at a coffee shop. Somebody looks at your hoodie. Are they going to get a negative emotion or a positive? They're going to get a positive. So for me, I rather put words on clothing that has inspiration.
Right. And that's one of the things I did pick up on your branding a lot, bro, that it, like, be all in, bro. You know, it just wakes up that spark in your head if you're truly in that, in that zone of mindset of like, hey, this is what I'm representing. And kind of like for me, music, bro, I honestly only listen to music that has those words, right? That make me vibrate, bro. That it makes me feel.
Have you heard Detroit 2 by Big Sean?
My God, did he just say Big Sean, bro? Every word for word makes me vibrate, bro. Oh my freaking God, that shit.
Deep reverence is
speaks on another level, bro.
Man.
Speaks on another. Look at that. I wish people could see this, but I'm vibrating right now, bro. Just because that's how strong those words are for me. And on the contrary, I've seen people that I tell them, "Yo, Big Sean's album, this did for me," and they're like, honestly, like it was all right. And then I realized I'm like, not everybody's in that same wavelength. Everybody's not going to be receptive to that type of energy that he's pushing unless you're wanting to receive
Unless you
it.
understand it.
Exactly. So before we move forward, give us a little bit more insight of where you came from, how you started, and where you're eventually going to be now.
Okay, well, just for the sake of time,
I'll
share just a short story. So I grew up here in San Diego. Unfortunately, we weren't, we didn't have much. And we were, jumping from place to place. And at 14, I got myself into the gang scene here. And I sold drugs to, buy clothes because my parents didn't have money.
Of course.
In fact, we didn't even have money for food. I don't know how the hell my brother survived. My brother and I weren't even really, we didn't have a relationship at that age.
Right.
At 14, I was pretty much on my own. And I started by wanting more.
The desire.
Growing up, I've always was that person. I knew there was more for me.
Ooh, okay.
I knew it, and I forced my way to get what I want. Like I've done very, very scrappy things. At 14, I said I need more. Like I want to have more. And what I did was I created a fake resume and I tried to get a job at 14 because I knew I couldn't get a job.
Of course.
Yeah, I actually got interviewed. I was about to get hired. They asked for my social. I gave it to them. They said, we can't hire you because you're 14.
But I'm willing and able, though.
Right? They just legally couldn't do it. They wanted to, but they couldn't. Okay. And so that forced me to figure out how to make money. I was tired of the drug scene. In fact, I had friends die. Okay. And it really just like emotionally, I had no interest in like taking a path where I could die. Like I was like, I was a kid. Like this is fun. I was feeling significant around gangs. And
you're part of a crew. You're part of people, right?
Right. When you see a friend die, that does something.
Yeah, of course.
When you go to a funeral for another 14-year-old kid, it does something to your mind. For me, it said, get the fuck out of this
Yeah.
scene.
That wake up call.
It woke me up. And I remember just like searching how to make money. So at 14, this was a time where vintage clothing, snapbacks are coming back. The song by Tyga, Snapback Back, just dropped. I would buy these vintage hats at FamArt. And no one, this was the time before anyone knew what the fuck this was.
Yeah. This is pre-cool days, like
I started
pre-days.
to sell them on Craigslist at 14. I was one of the only person in Southern San Diego that was flipping these hats. I'll go to FamArt and they'll be all there and I'll buy all of them and I'll flip them on Craigslist.
Okay.
I'll buy hats for $5 at FamArt and I'll flip them for 30, 40, 50, 60. At 14 years old, I went from, selling drugs, barely making money to now making, I don't know, $100, $200 a day.
Right. And that for
hats.
For that age, for that time, bro, I'm sure that was $100-$200 was everything, bro.
It made everything. But
no, of course.
The thing was, it allowed me to say or to think, what else can I do? Okay.
Yeah.
At 14 and a half, almost 15, a clothing brand called California Money came out here in San Diego. I don't know if you heard of that or remember it. Cali Money had the dream. They had like their famous logo or design was like a dream.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get the chance to see it, but okay.
Okay, so they came out, okay, and all of my brother's friends and my friends started to wear it.
Right.
I was like, this is really cool. I wonder if I could create my own clothing company.
Okay, so what came next?
I had a conversation with a barber friend of mine, and he's like, if you want to do something, you should do it. Like, what's holding you, like, what's
Why?
holding you back? And he also said that snapbacks may be gone. Like, you're making all this money here. You probably create your own clothing company and sell it to these people who've been selling hats. Because I created clientele. I had people coming back for these hats.
Right.
I built a list of like 300-400 people on my phone.
Right.
That would just text me, hey, do you have a hat? Do you have this hat?
You already had a whole system in there.
I had a system.
Yeah.
So I created a clothing company called Elite Kings Clothing.
Okay. I do remember Elite Kings because Randy was actually one of the first people that told me about it as well. So
it blew up.
Cool. Yeah.
Man. And I treated it the way I treated the drug scene.
And that's what I was gonna, say. Like, you bring the same skills you learn in one area, and then you come to realize, like, I could apply these skills somewhere else, get the same results with the less risk.
I had every high school in San Diego, from Southern all the way from San Ysidro all the way to Poway, all the way up north.
Shoot, if any snapbacks were getting moved here in San Diego, I knew about it.
T-shirts, everything, man. It was literally like the drug scene. They would meet up with me at a Starbucks in Mission Valley to come and pay wholesale for my stuff, and then whatever they sell, they keep.
Yeah, that's their problem.
I was flipping clothes. I was selling 1,000 units a week. This is
talk about moving packs, ladies and gentlemen.
15, 16 years old.
Right.
And that was the journey, man. That was like, the rags to, gaining some traction.
Yeah, no, of course.
From 14 to 16.
And that's, those are the crumbs in the cake that you take with you when you run, because at the end of the day, those skills that you learned, that sacrifice you made is what ultimately continues to keep pushing you right now.
Yeah.
So moving forward, bro, what's your goals? What's something that you're looking to accomplish, with, the career path that you're taking? I know you do a lot of, coaching, you do a lot of content. So, speak a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, like right now, I just had a daughter. So
congratulations, bro.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
I have 2 kids. It's a little selfish. I'm at this moment of my life where I just care about myself, honestly, because you can't pour from an empty cup. There's been so many years of me serving others and always asking I want to impact the world.
Yeah, of course.
But if you can't impact your own world, what world are you really impacting?
None.
Right? Nothing. Right? I could be helping you, but if I'm not helping myself, there's a certain limit I could push myself to.
Yeah.
So this year, 2021 for me was like, I need to focus on me. My goals need to be more selfish.
Right.
And so where I'm at right now, I have a mindset of, life is limitless, but we all have different seasons.
Exactly.
Right. So I'm at the season where I need to be selfish.
Here you go, bro.
I need to be selfish.
No,
man.
of course.
I need to work on my health. I need to be present for my family, and I need to just execute effectively what I have in front of me. So I don't really have a long-term play because I understand things grow so fast. And as long as I have my wheel on my vehicle now, I could drive this car wherever I want to. So I understand that like long term, my legacy in this world is, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And that's never going to change.
Of course not.
But what I need to focus on and what's in front of me, master it. I need to be a parent. I need to learn how to be a parent, and I need to maximize my opportunities in front of me, because when you have the mindset of maximizing what's in front of you, doing that daily builds your future. You can't think too much in the future. You're going to lose focus of the present. So that's where I'm at. I can't really tell you other goals other than that.
No, but that in itself, that's huge, because, like you said, sometimes you have to be selfish, and it's okay. It's all right, because like you said, if you can't help yourself, how can you help others, right? Yeah. And it's actually a topic that we, speak on a lot, which is like, this door is made for you, but it's only made for you, right? Yeah. But once you go through the door, you learn that, hey, I could come back, bust the door down, and then make it big enough for more people to come through. So where does the motivation for you come to, be able to give that back to people like you do in your webinars and your seminars and stuff like that?
It all comes from, I came from the mud, man. There were nights where I cried because I had no idea what to do. I remember just like being 16. Yeah, I was making money, but I had no idea what to do next. I had no idea. I wanted to create custom clothes. I remember getting scammed on Alibaba for $2,000. And I was like, fuck, like that was the money I had to do this hat.
That was my investment right there.
And it was just like, I didn't know who to call.
Right.
This was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I couldn't go on Instagram and figure something out. I couldn't go on YouTube.
There's not that much information.
There was no information that was accessible.
Right.
So where I am now, I can have a call. You can ask me anything that I've done. I can give you exactly what I've done. If that helps you, awesome. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least I could pull from my experience and give it to somebody, right? Because I remember what it feels like to want the information just to take action.
Yeah.
Right? I know that feeling like it was yesterday. Being 16, losing $2,000. And $2,000 at that time was a lot of money.
That's a huge sums of money for, that age.
And now, like what I know now could solve people's problems in their business because I've gone through it.
Yes.
I understand the solution, and I still presently do it now. Right? It's not like I left entrepreneurship and I just have all this old information.
No, you
it's
consistently
evolving,
work on it.
and it's still useful information. So the reason why I build my personal brand, I do podcasting, I give information away, I coach, I speak, I do all of this. It stems from knowing the feeling of being driven with no information.
Right. So what do? You go out, you're going to have to fail in order to learn.
Oh, yeah, that's the big part.
Exactly.
But when you have somebody to say, hey, Brian, this is what I think you should do, that creates perspective.
Exactly.
Because you could fail and fail forward, but if you don't have counsel meaning people who's done what you're trying to do, if you don't have a guide, you're going to go through life. It's going to be very difficult, especially as an entrepreneur. It's difficult. And when it's difficult, more than likely you lose a lot of money, time, and there's a whole lot of other assets lost without the right information.
Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good now.
We're even. No, exactly. Like for me, bro, in my space, in my industry, I, got a hold of a mentor, right? And thankfully to my mentor, he's taught me so much different things. He's taught me so much different mindsets and different techniques, how not to, fall into certain potholes, how to, succeed and get ahead in life. And ultimately now I preach that to people because I'm like, hey, if you're able to get a hold of somebody that's already doing what you're doing, let alone doing it at the level that you want to do it, if you have the opportunity to learn from them, then to go and learn on your own, wouldn't you want to, like, in a way, cut the corner and get, that information directly from someone that's actually doing what you want to do?
Yeah.
And one of the things that, intrigued me a lot, and it was a post that you made, bro, it said, $1,000 clients are very reluctant, right? But sometimes when you have a $50,000 client, they know the value that they're paying for that $50K. So it's almost for them easier to just say, yeah, let's go ahead and move forward with it.
Right.
What's that mindset, bro? And, why is it that people, aren't afraid to invest $50K, but sometimes they're very reluctant on doing the $1,000?
Well, there's different answers to that. And the answer I want to give is the person who understands the value of investing into themselves, understand regardless of the outcome, it's a seed being planted. Because there's numerous outcomes to an investment.
Right.
So my mentor, who's a really successful investor, always says, you do it for the energy you're planting.
Right.
Regardless if it makes money or it loses. There's a bigger principle at play. When you make an investment, if I give you $50,000, I'm investing into the energy of what that decision is.
Correct.
Because how many times have you experienced buying, for example, you go and you buy something to work out. You spend a whole lot of money.
Right.
But you don't use it, but then that transaction, that investment leads to something else.
Right. It was the energy you invested in.
It was the energy. So, for example, like I invested into a workout, like a course.
Yes,
I never
yes,
even opened it. But during that season, I bought the course. It was like this YouTube thing for like $50.
Right.
This is really cool. But during that time, that motivation, that investment led me to investing into a monthly subscription of the camp. Then I started to go to the camp. I said, you know what? If I'm going to buy a $50 course, I might as well try something in person.
Right.
So my mentor goes, every investment is a step to something else. You may not get something out of that. That's why it's called an investment.
Right.
Investments have
Win
no
or loss,
guarantee.
there's a risk,
But
that's why.
it's the principle of investing. So you do one investment, you understand the energy.
Right.
Maybe you do another investment where you win and you forget about that one. And that one doesn't even matter. So when it comes to people investing a low ticket,
Yes.
they never invested. They have this like mindset that if I give you $500, you're going to change my life.
Right.
And then they're going to rely on you. And if it
Yes.
goes wrong, then their whole life is wrong.
Right. And they blame it back on the person and
Yes.
not really them.
Yeah.
Correct?
It's a mindset thing.
Yeah.
And it's an experiencing because people don't know what they don't know. Okay?
Exactly.
Most people who've never invested in themselves don't understand the bigger picture being at play.
Right.
They don't get it. And it's not that they don't want to get it, they just haven't got it yet.
I just feel they're indoctrinated with certain information that, is passed down to them that unfortunately what they believe is right because that's all
Think
they
about
know.
this, the average person won't even spend, I don't know, $100 on like things that's better for them.
Right. But to
You know what I'm
spend $100 on stuff that's not good
They'll
at all
go
for
to the
them.
club right when San Diego opens up June 15th, they're going to go ball out.
Exactly.
But they won't invest into the personal development. That'll make them better and stronger and more courageous to tackle on another pandemic, but they'll go and spend a couple of G's in the club.
Yeah, of course.
So people's attention with money is so misguided nowadays.
Yeah.
That the person who has the money understands the value, the energy. That's the difference there. For me, if I see value in putting $50K,
Yes.
I won't have to think twice. If I see the value, I see the value. And that's
Exactly.
it.
It's worth it.
There's no second guess. You do a lot of things in mortgage. You see people put a lot of money down for a
Exactly.
deposit. They see the value in a home. What's there to think about?
Nothing. They believe in it. They know what they're getting themselves into. So for them, that investment makes sense.
Most people don't believe in themselves enough to put more money into themselves.
And so it comes down to being more than just taking the action. It's about really understanding who you are, what you want, and what goals you have in front of you, and how are you going to get to those goals, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I was listening to the other day that really caught on to me was sometimes the act of making money isn't even the seed of happiness. And I thought to myself, like, for some people, they make $1 million. Great, they'll be happy. But then I thought about it. Maybe the money doesn't make you happy, but it makes you feel good. And money is able to buy time for you.
Well, it's intention, man. I got the nice car. I make the money. Sometimes I forget what I even have. But I'm so happy because I'm able to intentionally live my life. You put every millionaire who's happy, and then you put every millionaire who's unhappy. The person who's unhappy actually makes more money than the person who's happy.
Right.
Okay. There's millionaires more successful than Gary Vee. Gary Vee doesn't make that much money.
Yeah.
Okay. He makes millions, but he doesn't make mega millions.
Right. There's levels.
Well, yeah, but he's happy. He's extremely happy.
Very happy.
You put the person who's a billionaire, okay? who's unhappy, they're not living their life intentionally on their terms.
Right.
They're still on other people's terms. When you chase money, if you're somebody who's hustling for money, you're working a corporate job that pays you good, I guarantee you're not happy. Because you're doing what other people want you to do for the paycheck. You may go buy your car, your home. You may be able to ball out.
But are you fully, fulfilled with what you're doing in the way that?
What I'm saying is, what I'm not saying here, money does matter, man.
No, of course it does. 100%.
Without money, you can't do certain things. But if you're intentional on what you do to contribute to earn money, because you can't make money, you earn it with the value that you give. If you could build a lifestyle that your business supports, then you're going to be fulfilled. See, I have a lifestyle where I could craft my schedule.
Yes.
And it's not that the control of time that matters for me. It's what I could do with my time. Like this right here, I love doing this.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I love talking and giving back. I love contributing. Zig Ziglar says if you help enough people get what they want, you eventually get what you want. But what I take from that is in the act of contribution, are you actually fulfilled?
Yes.
I'm fulfilled doing this. So if I die right now, I could honestly say I live my day intentional because I intended everything I've done today. And the money follows because I'm giving value in every part of my day.
Yes.
And I have an abundant mindset, so I am attracting new opportunities, and I'm not worried about the paycheck. I don't live my day for a paycheck.
Right.
That's the biggest part, man, is people don't understand this. It's not the business that you're in. It's how you, it's the energy and the intention in every minute you do. You got to look at your time as investments. Every minute is an investment to something. Because even in the book 10X, Grant Cardone talks about consequences if you show up late.
Yeah.
You're responsible for what you do and what happens when you do what you do. So if you're intentional with everything that you do, you're more than likely going to get better results.
Yes.
But if you're not intentional, you have no idea what your schedule is, you have no idea why you're doing what you're doing, and maybe you don't care, more than likely you're going to end your week like, what happened? Why did this happen? How am I not making the money? Well, guy, girl.
Well, look at your intentions.
There's no intention. And also intention creates happiness, man.
Right.
Because if you go wake up knowing how your day is going to go and that you're the one who's responsible for it, there's a form of fulfillment there.
Right.
Because you're able to visualize what to do and you do it.
Yes.
How many people wake up in the middle of the morning or before they start their day, they go to work?
Damn it, I got to go do this. I got to drag doing that. So then how do people get, started in that space? How do they make steps to get to that mindset?
Well, they got to understand what they actually care about. Right? If they care about, there's certain people that care about flashy shit.
Yeah, of course. That's just who it is.
Like if you care about the nice car, if that's your season,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Then be fulfilled. Do things to get there.
Yes.
And once you get there and you don't want to be there, then figure out where you want to go. Because life is, I call it seasons. You got to grow through your season. Like for me, my season right now is I want to be intentional with my time. But maybe 5 years from now it'll be different. And you have to be okay with that.
And I like how you put it into that perspective of seasons, because just like, in sports, there's off seasons, then there's the actual season, and then you're still practicing along, your season. So everything almost, not every team every year wins the championship, right? But in those seasons, they're preparing themselves for the 3-4 years that they do have the goal of winning that championship, right?
That's accurate from another perspective. But what I'm saying here is if you're someone who works a job and you're not happy, then it's your job to figure out what makes you happy. Then you figure out what makes you happy. Then you go, okay, this is cool, but I want to do something more. And then you figure out what that more is. And then you go there. And then you figure out that maybe you don't like it. Then maybe go back. You have to be okay with going up and going down because that's what life is. And most people who don't think that life works that way are going to have a hard time navigating through life. Because sometimes you got to take steps back.
Yeah.
To go forward. Because look, man, entrepreneurship ain't fucking rainbows, Lamborghinis, ain't money.
Hell no, it's not, bro.
It's not all good every time.
There's great times in the times.
There's even times where you gotta like just quit.
Yeah.
And go and,
coast off, do something different, and regroup.
All of that's okay.
Yeah. And I think that's a misconception when people feel like I have to keep going. And then sometimes you burn out. Right? Or sometimes you completely say, you know what? F this. This is really not for me. But really what you needed was just a little bit of shift in mentality, coast down a little bit.
Sometimes you have to go through that, man.
Of course.
And it's like there's not a person, a Tony Robbins or anyone who could say something to somebody and get them like moved and then they don't need to go through that. I think the fluff, the smoke and mirrors, that life could just be all positive all the time sets people for setbacks. Because if you're aware,
yes, 100%.
If you're aware that there's going to be times where you're going to lose it all, you're going to lose yourself in it.
But what did you learn?
Right? But this is the seed that must always be planted is what can you learn from this season? Did you learn that entrepreneurship isn't for you? Entrepreneurship ain't for everybody.
And I agree with that 100%, but investing in yourself and putting yourself in a better situation, that is for everybody.
Yeah.
And sure. That's a thin line that I feel a lot of people feel like if I go this, I have to be full on entrepreneurship.
Oh, no.
Not at all.
No.
This is like a sport in itself,
Hiring a personal trainer is investing to yourself.
100%.
Going to church is investing into yourself. Hanging with better people is investing into yourself.
Yes.
To be a better human, you have to invest into yourself.
100%.
Investing doesn't mean entrepreneurship. In fact, most real successful investors are not entrepreneurs.
No, they're not. That's exactly what I was talking to my coach the other day about.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy because a lot of people think like, no, I have to live a life like that. That's the new entrepreneurship. But then I also think entrepreneurship got this whole stigma where it's like fancy cars, fancy lifestyle. When in reality, I've seen some entrepreneurs that are very simple people, but are out there killing it.
Yeah. I have a nice car because I always wanted a nice car. It wasn't like I need a nice car. In fact, I drove a Honda Civic for fucking years.
Yep, that's what I drive right now, and I'm completely
I just got
okay
this
with
BMW
it.
last year.
Right.
That's when I started to say, I want to reward myself because I can, not because I want to look a certain way.
Yeah.
People think that you got to look a certain way to be successful. I've made more money driving a Honda Civic than I have driving a BMW, and I could care less.
Yeah.
It's not material things are not symbols of success. Right? You could meet somebody right here, right now, walks in this building and not even know what they drive, but if they carry themselves a certain way, they say something, they show you what they've done, that's symbols of success. Success is what you could do.
It's your validity or credibility.
Well, yeah, credibility ain't your clothes, man. No. It ain't your skin color.
It's legit what you've done.
It's who you are. It's your character. It's your value that you bring to the table, man. There's been mega millionaires I've met who drive nothing, who don't even have a car, who don't care for that.
Right.
But these guys are so wealthy, they could give you enough money to take care of generations for your whole entire family, but they don't have the nice cars.
But then it goes to show you that maybe our mindsets are somewhere else when we're looking at, actual wealth and success.
Yeah. There's different levels to it, man.
100%.
For me is I don't look at my car as, I'm successful because I drive a convertible roadster. That for me, that doesn't symbolize success. What symbolizes success is I have the ability to do what I want, when I want, with whoever I want. So if I want to buy this damn car,
I will.
It doesn't matter what I could buy. If I have the ability to say, I want that because I want it, because I fucking earned it.
Yeah.
Because I have the ability to make these purchases based off what I've done for myself. See, there was a saying when I was 14 years old. I forgot what book it was, but I remember reading a book and it said, do what most people will never do in order to live the life that most people want. And that stuck with me. I said, you know what? I flipped these vintage hats and I made all this money and I don't even hang out with friends. I got this book from Barnes & Noble. I can't remember what it was. I read that quote and I lived my life for the past 11 years based off that quote. And I still do what others won't do, can't do, and never think of doing to live the life that they want to live, but they never do what's needed.
And, speaking on that, like you said, there's sometimes you flat out have to go through the struggles, right? Sometimes you
have
have to
to.
fall into the potholes, right?
got it, man.
And that's exactly what what you just were basically like, for me, symbolize, bro, that it's like no matter what, people think that there's a one size fits all, that you're gonna go through this course, that you're gonna pay this guy this much money, and then your life is gonna be straight set. No, like sometimes you legit have to fall through that, bad times. You have to go through those struggles, because then it wakes something up in you that you've never had or you've never harnessed, right? And we all have that power inside of us. It's just how are you gonna wake it up?
You know what that is?
Your energy.
That's definitely the branded word.
I knew myself right there.
It's accountability, man. That's
it is 100%.
Because most people go, oh, I would have been that person, or that person took my idea, or Brian, I said last year I would do this. Look at this guy's doing it. Maybe it's like, yo, you have
shut the fuck up.
All of these ideas.
Yes.
Most people have $1 billion ideas.
Yeah.
Most people could be extremely successful.
I created the AirPods, but hey, I didn't take action on it.
We all have. The thing is, we all tap into the same, and whatever your beliefs are.
Yeah.
My belief is we all share the same knowledge. We're all
part of this
connected.
connection of internal information and energy.
Man.
But I also feel like a lot of people have like that mental block. They just can't pass it. I don't know if you've ever had that yourself.
It's accountability, man. Because if you never took action on something so significant that it made you uncomfortable, you're never. And there's stages. You don't need to be. It doesn't need to be this huge event in your life. Most people can't even make it to the gym.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I'm slowly getting back into fitness, and I'm making it extremely important for me because I care about my life, but I've taken other actions. But most people can't even quit their job that they hate.
And then they go and talk about how much they hate it and how they're stuck in this. But bro, you have the key to make all that go away.
Or the relationship they're in, the abuse they're dealing with. What are most people's problems? Most people's problems are things they have control over. Okay? They could say, I'm tired. I think it's best if we go our separate ways. Or employer, I don't feel happy here. It's not you. It really is me. I need to go find myself. Most people won't go on the ramen noodle diet.
Hell no.
To find themselves. They won't do it, man. That's why most people can't take action on big ideas because they can't do the small things.
So what would be your advice for crossing that bridge? Like you said, you
gotta just do it.
Just do it, right?
You got to do it. Even if you don't know what that future looks like, you don't know what the next step is, you got to do it. And sometimes you got to fall on your face. You got to be homeless. You got to be you got to go, to having the gun on your head.
You have to follow rock bottom.
It sucks to say that.
But that's how it is sometimes.
I've gone through all that.
Yeah.
And I've been fortunate to not have killed myself or to not have gone through other paths. But going through that has been the biggest lessons and the most knowledge I've gained. I mean, I've invested into coaches. I've been through masterminds. I bought courses. I've read hundreds of books. And out of everything I've actually put money to, nothing creates more wisdom in my life than those dark moments.
Yep, 100%. I agree.
There's so much wisdom there. And look, whoever's listening in, if you're at a job or like, yo, if I quit, how am I going to make money?
You'll figure it out.
Well, let me say this. If you die today, what are you leaving behind? What is it that you're leaving behind?
What's your
Regret?
legacy?
What's your legacy? Because generational curses, you know what generational curses are? It's when you die, not inspiring the people around you to carry something. So what they do, for example, most men in America are becoming so feminine in terms of not being a man of their household, not being the visionary, not being the leader.
Yep.
So what they're showing their kids, their cousins, their brothers, their daughters, their parents is
it's okay
to not be a leader. So the generational curse that most men in America are leaving for their family is you're a man, you can't lead. Let other people lead your life.
100%. I mean, I agree. It's like you show the example.
Yep.
And your team will follow.
Yep.
It's like straight up.
And leading in today's society doesn't mean a successful journey. It could be, hey guys, I left my job today. I don't know what's going to happen. I feel it's right, but we may not have dinner today.
And
but
you know that
I did what I felt I needed to do.
And that's a leader's mindset that, being a leader, you don't always make the right choice, but you do always make a choice.
It's not that you make a right choice or you make a choice. You decide.
Exactly.
It's the ability to say, this decision is best for our future. You may not like it. I don't like it, but it had to be done.
Exactly.
Most, and not even men, even women, most people can't make decisions that gets them to their uncomfort zone. See, what people don't realize is growth happens when you're going through pain. Because sometimes you got to lose everything to acknowledge the strength you have, the things you have, and the things you actually care about.
Right.
And the things that you don't care about may be holding you down.
You'll get rid of those too,
You
man.
have to get rid of. You have to lose it all in order to even acknowledge that.
100%. So we're getting here to my favorite part of the podcast, bro. It's called the lightning round, and it's a series of unusual questions that give us unusual answers, bro. So let's go ahead and jump into these. And these could be anything, bro. Marcos has been the one that makes them, so I don't know what's on there. You don't know what's on there, bro. It's always a surprise.
I'm ready, man.
Let's get into it, bro. All right, question number 1. Can you juggle?
Can I juggle? Sometimes.
All right. Question number 2. Which ghost will be the funniest to hang out with?
Which ghost?
Yes.
I mean, I guess most people say Casper, but I mean, I think the ghosts from Ghostbusters, man, those are some wacky looking ghosts, man. Pretty interesting.
That's what I was thinking too.
I know, that's what, they got a whole bunch of different varieties there.
Yeah.
How would you describe karma?
Karma. Well, there's bad karma. There's if you do something wrong, it may not come back to you immediately, but it'll eventually find its way to you.
Always.
And then there's good karma. If you do good for others, it may not come back to you immediately, but it'll eventually find its way to you.
So always do the right thing.
You do good will come your way. You do bad will come your way. That's exactly what karma is.
Yep. All right, question number 4. Is work a goal in itself, or should it just be a means to achieve the ideal life?
Work?
Yes.
When I think of work, it's the mechanism to achieve something.
Right.
Like this podcast, you got to edit it. The mechanism to produce this podcast is you got to take the audio, you got to master it, you got to put it with the video, you got to color match it.
He doesn't really know what that means, but
I just show up.
That's the work.
But I gave you that, bro.
You got to show up, you got to have this conversation
Yeah,
with
of
me,
course.
you got to put the energy. So this is the mechanism to put something out. So when I think of work, I think of the formula, what needs to happen in order to create something, to be something, to do something. It's the mechanism. It's the
system that you have in place.
Yeah.
Got it. Question number 5. Do you condone dad jokes?
Do I condone dad jokes all the time, man?
Oh, shoot. What's your favorite dad joke?
I can't remember them, but I'll laugh to them.
Yeah, right? Question number 6. Do you think cockroaches have souls?
I hate them. I don't care if they have souls or they don't have souls.
Bro.
They'll have the soul of my foot.
Question number 7. What are the disadvantages of shopping online?
The disadvantages of shopping online? Well, it depends on where you shop. Because, my girl will go on these, super cheap sites. Like, oh, my gosh, I just bought this. It comes in the mail. Like, bruh.
What did you expect?
I don't, for me, I don't buy things online that I haven't bought in person.
You know, it's funny that I'm more of I have to see it in person, try it on, and really know, and then I could go buy it online because then I know exactly what I bought into. Yeah. If not, I'm over here rolling the dice, and I'm not really one of those, roll the dice type of guys.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not if it's clothing, I have to first wear it and then buy something similar. If it's something else, like a phone case or a camera or something, I'll buy it online. I could care less.
Yeah,
but if it's something I wear,
for the most part,
it's a certain fit, then I have to wear it. I have to wear it in person first.
Question number 8 is taxation theft.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Is taxation theft?
I don't understand the question.
Like, is getting taxed for stuff a crime?
Pretty much.
Like tax, if I go to the store and they tax me on
all of a
things.
sudden we all make 400,000 plus, right? And now we got to give back Uncle Sam a certain percent of that hard-earned money.
Well, I have a different mindset to that, man.
No, yeah.
I put my mind to the country's a business.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a smart thing to tax your employees on certain things. But then also too, if you're smart enough, you'll figure out ways go, not to go around it, but to limit what you actually pay on taxes. Like if you're making 400K and you went and you bought a car and you haven't figured out how to write that off, well, that's because you're stupid.
I agree.
And I don't mean to offend you, but people need to hear this.
That was great. That was great.
That was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, straight up.
This is the thing. If you're smart enough to make the money, then be smart enough to learn ways to write off, ways to, for example, if you put certain money into certain real estate or trust accounts or certain accounts,
right,
you could, it could be a tax write-off or it could be tax exempt. There's certain, not loopholes. I don't like that word. It sounds like it doesn't sound good, but strategies, right? If you're smart enough to make the money, be smart enough to learn the strategies to keep the money.
Yeah, no, 100%. And in a world where you have information at the tip of your fingertips, what are you doing? It's a choice.
This country is designed to keep people dumb.
Yeah.
And it's also designed to make those who are smart win. That's the thing, is if you're smart enough, you'll win. But and I'm not saying if you're dumb, you're dumb. I'm saying if you don't have the intelligence to look a different direction and figure it out, then you're going to pay the price.
And you're going to figure it out for somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing you want to do.
Yeah, for sure.
So question number 9, how tall are you in centimeters?
I don't know. I know I'm 5'10" in inches. I don't know what that is.
Marcos, help me out with question number 10 here, bro. How do you feel about the S-second rule?
The 5-second rule.
Bro, you got to work on your freaking
I got to work on my 5s.
You got to work on your 5s, bro.
Yeah. I do that all the time.
When you drop food, and it's the 5
Yeah,
second,
exactly.
I don't eat it. I don't.
5-second rule is a
I
real
don't
thing,
believe
though.
in that shit. The thing is, you know how dirty this world is. Like what I don't. No one cleans the bottom of their shoes.
Never. You just step on
Shoes
stuff.
inside the house.
I don't do that here. The 5-second rule, I don't believe in it. I don't. If I drop something on the floor, I throw it away. It's done.
Here you go, Marcos. You're over here 30 seconds in, and you're like, nah, bro, it's
That
still
is
good. Just
not
flip
the
it
case.
over.
Definitely not the case. Definitely not the case. No.
He was asking for a friend, to be honest, on that one. All right, question number 11. Spell friend zone preneur backwards.
Friend zone preneur backwards. I can't do that.
Bro, me either. Who makes these questions?
Can't do that.
Research and development. Can we have a chat after this, please? Question number 12. Would you rather have 10 hobbies or 1 passion?
10 hobbies or 1 passion. 10 hobbies sounds a lot. I'd rather have 1 passion.
Bam, let's go. Question number 13. What's your favorite pizza topping?
Pizza topping. Man, there's a place here called Zia Gourmet Pizza in North Park. And they have this bomb pizza with like potatoes and chorizo. So I'd say that, man. Like, it's fire, dude.
You had me at papas con chorizo, bro. All right, bro. So right here, we're getting to the last question. And in this one, bro, I want you to dig deep inside of you, bro. Really come out with what you know. What really brings out, your energy, right? So I'm going to go ahead and repeat it. And you just repeat it and fill in the blanks, okay?
Sure.
My name is blank, and I get my energy from...
Okay. So...
And you can go ahead and look right here.
Oh, you want me to say it and point at the camera right here?
Or you don't have to point, but look at that one because this is your direct camera.
Okay, so... Man, I mean...
It's like putting the thesis of this whole podcast into...
Okay, so let me just ask a clarifying question,
Yes.
so I can answer this the way you want me to answer it. You want me to answer it where I get my energy, my drive.
And that's exactly what your
that
energy is. Basically, your drive, your obstacles, everything you've gone through that, basically gives you this energy to go out and do what you're currently doing and pursuing.
My answer a few months ago would be different. But my answer now is God, man. Honestly.
So can we sit over here? My name is blank and I get my energy.
Sorry, my name is Joseph and I get my energy from God. And the reason why I say that is where I am in life right now. If I don't pray and ask for strength, I don't have the days I have that feel fulfilled and exciting and easy and like life is happening for me.
Right.
And if the days I don't seek God and I try to do everything myself, maybe I get too busy.
Yeah.
I end my day like exhausted, like, man, this was a long day. And it was long because I didn't get that energy. The thing is, it's not like a woo-woo thing, man.
Yeah. No, it's not.
When God's like, and I don't mean to preach here, but God's like a wall outlet. You plug in to recharge your phone.
Always, bro.
You can't just have your cord hanging and expect your phone to charge.
Nope.
So I do my best to meditate in the morning and then pray with gratitude. And when I pray, I ask for visualization. And that really just gives me my energy, man.
No, you know what? I'm over here jumping, bro, because it's like when I hear people say that, I'm like, I'm not crazy. I'm not the only one that does that then.
You're not the only one.
No, because I wake up, I pray, I meditate, and I always lead with gratitude, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, a couple months ago, like you said, bro, throughout this whole pandemic, that's when I tapped into God even more than ever, right? And I stopped, preaching or asking when it was good and when it was bad. And I just started, asking and talking to him always, consistently, bro. And what I realized is that it gave me that energy. It gave me that purpose. It gave me that confidence inside of me that, hey, I'm putting this on you, God, because I know you got me. And bro, 10 times out of 10, God always comes through. And it's not going to be in the way that you expect it, but I believe me, he'll put the mediums, the people, the situations for you to achieve what you want if you truly have the intention.
Yeah, I love that, man. But like, I'll keep it real. I don't pray asking God for anything other than like, I need strength. I need clarity. Because this is the thing. Most people, and I don't mean to go into like spirituality and religion, but most people when they pray, they're more like asking. I need rent money. I need this disease. I need my doctor to do this. This is the thing. I intentionally know life happens for me. And I intentionally understand that if I do my part in being positive, fulfilled, driven, that God's going to do his part. So when I pray, I never ask for anything. I don't go, God, you got this. I go, I need your strength.
Yeah.
I know you got this, but I need to make sure I got this.
Yeah. And like that's what I meant in the far as asking for straight.
No, I didn't mean to pose what you said.
No.
I just meant to say it my way so people understand where I come from.
100%.
And because I'm not a spiritual guy. I talk about God here and there, but I have God in my day.
And I feel people think that that is a certain way of talking to God, but your relationship with God is what you have with him.
Yeah.
It does not, like I said, one way fits all.
Yeah, it's definitely not a one.
Yeah. So, bro, before we log out, is there anything you want to leave the audience with? Any last messages you want to let them know before we go ahead and wrap this up?
I mean, it's if you're listening to this podcast and you feel the need to do something different, do it, man. Because if you don't, then this is the thing. You woke up today. You're alive. You're listening to this. You're breathing. You won the lottery, man. There's many people. A few friends of mine actually died recently. And I always tell people this. If you're alive, you are in the winning zone. It doesn't matter what your reality looks like. You could change.
Yes.
You could do things differently. If you're listening to this and you heard something and that something gave you a vision, that vision gave you energy, maybe you're feeling a breakthrough. I don't know. Whatever that is, pursue it. Pursue it. Do something different. Okay? Most people live their life doing the same thing every day, thinking that something else outside of their control is going to change and they're going to have this success moment down the road. I'm telling you that if that happens, it ain't never going to happen until you go right here in this moment. I'm going to decide that I'm going to live different. Be different, do something different, eliminate certain relationships, walk away from friend groups, quit my job, quit your business, go back to a job, whatever you have to do, you do something different that creates a different result so you could continue to live your life, man. Because most people aren't living. And I want to leave with this. You're listening here. Why are you still listening? Go and do something.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's been episode 49 with JOE Ortega. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Energy Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to never lose out on a dose of energy. And if this has been valuable for you, share it with a friend, share it with a family member, somebody that's in their own way. Help them escape and find their energy, guys. Thank you so much. Energy out.
Appreciate it, man.
HK out in Mexico, young thought this, I'ma knock it out of Petco. Hey girl, please, you should learn how to let go. I need my cheese in a shirt that's retro. God, name a better duo, she want my attention. Let me see the culo. Don't want attention, I just want hair, broke it off.